Oh yeah, they light a fire all the time. Down week, what are we doing? And so let's get into the ideas. I love this. This is somewhat of a newish format, so I'm excited to just free flow, see what we can come up with, and see what's on your mind, and we'll go.
Well, here's a question I want to propose to you. So when do you have a home inspection?
Just in general, just if I put on my agent hat after you go under contract.
Right. So the way I look at it for the Northwest is we have clients in one side, and then we have agents,
Mhm.
and I got to figure out how to market towards agents. And then there's this client piece, and I would say 99% of our referrals are actually directly from agents. So we're lucky in that way. I feel like in the Northwest,
Mhm.
I'm not fighting over Don Doe and who has better, website or all that stuff. However, I was talking with the marketing team actually this morning about this, but how come clients, homeowners, don't get inspections without being involved in a real estate transaction?
Like just when they live in a home. So year 3,
You bought
4.
a house, you bought a house 8 years ago, and you've never been, we have crawl spaces here. So
Mhm.
you've never been in the attic. You've never been in the crawl space. It's been 8 years. You have no idea what's going on. You notice maybe your water pressure is down. And so what do you do? You don't think about, you don't think about getting a home inspection.
Right. I think it's not a branded thing yet, and I think there's opportunity there. I know the industry has tried the annual home checkup, and maybe it's just not the right packaging. Maybe no one's, I think, just done it in a automated, easy to remember, kind of positive way. Yeah. What are you thinking here? What do you think would play well?
Well, first off, you've got to, and I've dialogued with friends about this, and I've asked them the same question. But so one of the things I've learned is you've got to let them know that you're going to solve a problem, and you got to let them know what that problem is. So you've got to actually introduce a problem and bring a problem to surface, right?
Mhm.
So let them know of a problem they didn't know that they had, that they have. You know, I'm going through the. I don't know if you heard of Business Made Simple, but I follow them like crazy, and they're talking about one-liners, right? So what's a one-liner to be able to target your audience? So for example, it'd be something like, "Hey Kevin, did you know that you have water in your crawl space? Did you know that you might have rats and critters up in your attic? When's the last time you checked? Do you have a thermal gun? Did you check to see if you have moisture in the walls? Let us come in and just give you a checkup on your house," right? So it's all about branding and stuff like that. I don't think it's been done, because every time I talk to someone about a home inspection, it's always buy, sell, buy, sell, buy,
Right.
sell, buy,
Right.
sell. And I just think that there's this huge bucket of revenue that we're not even tapped into, right? And the way I look at it is, I used to drive for Uber a while back. And I remember going through all that process and hearing all the negative stuff about the taxi companies, like in New York, who, wait a minute, we've been doing this, so all union and all that good stuff. And the way I look at it is, man, good for Uber and Lyft, right? Somebody came up with an idea. It's taxis, right? Taxis have been around for years,
Mhm.
right? And someone decided to go, I'm going to make this, and I'm going to modernize it up, and I'm going to create something new and something different. And that's what they did. And the taxis, you know what? The way I look at it is, the taxi companies could have easily had done the exact same thing. What is Yellow Cab? That's the
Yeah.
biggest one, right?
Yeah.
Yellow Cab could have done an app, could have hired people off the street to drive their own cars. They could have done that, but they didn't. And then in previous podcasts, we talk about, I know you mentioned, like, what if Home Depot gets into home inspection business, right? What if Lowe's gets into the home inspection business, and all these other bigger, we call it big money, right, into the home inspections? But why wait for that when I feel like there is something? It's like, honestly, Kevin, I feel like it's right there. I just haven't grabbed it yet. I know I'm in the right direction, but I just think that there's a bunch of revenue that we in the industry that we don't even have, and to be honest with you, we don't even think of.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's been a lack of creativity up until now. I think there's smarter minds more now than in the 5 6 years I've been around home inspectors thinking about this. And so you'll be happy to hear that we will be enabling the ability to create a recurring service charge in Spectora.
Mhm.
And so it's targeting this almost exact mindset of whether you do sprinkler blowouts, clean out gutters for people, or do an annual inspection. The gap I think you mentioned that's so important is like being able to have a solution in if you're going to point out that the HVAC needs servicing or something like that, you better have someone in line and ready to book it for them, right? Instead of just saying, hey, here's a problem, I'm out. I'm out the door.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's where the
Yeah.
recommended contractors piece comes in. So I
Mhm.
I believe for those that are thinking like you, we're entering an era that's going to have like explosive growth for some of these companies.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's changing the mindset even within inspection companies, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I asked this question. We have a local inspection group, and I had asked this question: "Hey, what's the biggest problem facing the industry today?" And one person said too many inspectors. The other one said that inspectors come in and just low value, right? They're charging 300, 200 bucks for an inspection or whatever. And I'm like, I read those and I can respect those answers. I think they're actually spot on, but I think they're missing it because nothing about that was about growth, you know, internal growth of their business. None, it just wasn't,
It's all
you know.
reactive. Yeah, it's all this is happening to us.
It's all, yep. You still have written down on a notepad, but we're, as an industry, I feel like we're reactive, not proactive, you know. We don't plan ahead for the future. We don't think about it. We kind of like, oh, I have 8, 10 inspections this week. Let's do them, you know. Um, and one person did say something on this group that was he said something, but it's kind of on the side. And he said that the only people that really do the marketing are the people who are just starting out or people that want to expand. And so I read that and I'm like, well, that means you're not doing marketing. And I I went through, and I'm not trying to nitpick other companies, but I went and I spent one day and I went and looked at 50 to 100 websites.
Mm-hmm.
All- And they all say the exact same thing. There's nothing about them that do anything different.
Yeah.
Uh, there's a Facebook ad for an inspector in my area. It's targeting my area. Well, I think they were located in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
You had no idea. He probably had
No
no
idea.
idea that he was no idea. So he's spending money on that. But this is what it said: we do radon, sewer, and thorough inspections. Yeah,
Great. Yeah. So do lots
you're
of
not.
people.
So you take that. So you take exactly. So you take that example, and you're not creating a problem for anybody else. If I was a homeowner, and I am a homeowner, why would I look at that and go, what, it's just selling your service, right?
We've got to take it a step further to expand to more value. You're right, because I think inspectors get nervous or mad or whatever when people mention home inspections as a commodity or it's becoming a commodity. And it's like, let's fight that by being more creative and adding more value, and let's make it not a commodity. So then the new guy that wants to charge 300 looks very cheap in comparison to someone that charges 400 or 500 and offers all these other things, all these other services and providers and referrals and all that.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
Here's a question for you. There's I've noticed just anecdotally in my life, there's a lack of good handymen everywhere, just in all markets, basically. There's not a lack of people that know how to do all these things. There's just a lack of professional handyman businesses that are ready and willing to help people out with everyday things. When I think of an annual maintenance inspection or a checkup inspection that turns up all these little things, are these things just going to start needing to be done by home inspection companies in-house? Do you guys hire a handyman? Do you start connecting with others in your area? How does that all work in your eyes?
I think there's a creative way to do that. But in the state of Oregon, you're not allowed to bid or do any work of the house that you inspected for up to a year after,
Got it.
right? Now, is there anything wrong with finding a guy who's licensed um, and maybe doing a different CCB, a different license,
Hmm.
uh, and then having him kind of be, what if I have two companies,
Yeah.
Bridgetown Inspections and Bridgetown Maintenance?
Yep.
I don't, is that allowed? I don't know. Is that a loophole? I don't know. I don't want to be dishonest. I want to be on the up and up. But those are the kind of things that I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
There's a guy who, he's not licensed, but he said he's willing to get licensed. He works at a property management group right now. He only charges me $20 an hour. I mean, he hung up the barn doors and all this stuff for me. And nice guy. And I thought, man, if I could get him on board somehow, some way, to be able to perform these maintenance things, because um, I'm always seeing on Facebook groups of like, hey, looking for this, looking for that. He's booked, looking for this. And if I have a guy that's my guy, and I can control
Beautiful.
his schedule,
Beautiful.
nobody else will have that. You know what I mean? So you gotta. So yes, I want to do that. I just don't know. I got to figure out the legal way to do it.
Yeah,
So,
sure. And I think I had this conversation on the last episode with Super Inspector. It hasn't aired yet, but we talked about how in almost every other industry on the planet, there's referrals. People get paid for referrals. There's people with sister companies that fulfill business, as long as they're transparent and they say what's going on, and they tell the consumer that, hey, you can shop around for a handyman if you want. We have a company that does that exact thing. And Super Inspector said 10 times out of 10, the customer's like, yeah, can you just book it? I don't care who does. Like, I just need this baseboard done,
I don't understand where the fear base came in. I don't understand that. It's the ones like, I'm afraid I can't do that because why? Because you might get sued. How many times have you been sued? Never. Wait, really? If I'm inspecting a house, Kevin, and there's an exposed wire, what do you think I created that exposed wire? Do you think do you think you have open ground? Do you think I created open ground in your house so I can make money on your open ground? That doesn't
Right.
make sense to me.
Yeah.
So why not just do it?
And we got to elevate the industry to just focus on being ethical, focus on solving problems, and we're all going to be okay. And I love where your head's at with this. I think that's a model that's going to take hold, and we're going to be definitely creating the tools so to make it easy to book these follow-up inspections. And I think that's the gap here, is everyone's like, oh, everyone's tried annual maintenance inspections, it doesn't work. I think we suck at marketing as an industry. And so if we present it better and, give people the text message with a button with convenient times to just book it and tell them what's included, it's going to work.
Hi everyone, this is Louis from Spector. I'm going to put 3 links down in the description below. The first link is for you if you like Spector, but maybe you just have a couple questions. You can schedule a 15-minute discovery call with someone from our client success team to make sure that Spector is a great fit for you. It is, by the way. If you're ready to dive in and start using the app, the second link is for our free trial. With the average cost of a home inspection, that's a couple $1,000s that you'll pocket before you pay us a dime. And the third link is for our Spectora Jumpstart program. If you're a brand new home inspector, you probably need a website, or maybe you have a website that you just kind of threw up real quick and you're not super thrilled with it. In the Jumpstart program, we'll make you a great website based on feedback from you to make sure that it reflects your business, your market, and you. We'll optimize it for search engines, and we'll put an online scheduler on your website too, so you can spend less time on the phone and more time out in the field working. We'll also bundle it with a full year of the Spector app, and we'll do it at a great price too. Hey, thanks for watching this video. I hope you check out other videos on this channel, and take care.